Hello and welcome to Wade's Weekly Wanderings for this October 2nd, 2024, the 18th Sunday after Trinity, or St. Michael and All Angels, the week we remember that the invisible is real and that God is still the ruler over it. Beginning with a proverb again this week, Proverbs 15, verse 19. The way of a sluggard is like the hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is a level highway. There's a beauty in this proverb, as there is in every proverb, honestly, that talks about how you can't just expect things to work out without putting in the sweat equity. If you want to stop feeling stiff every day, you can complain about being stiff every day, or you can get up and stretch before bed. If you want to dread going to the dentist because they're going to tell you how many times to floss, and you don't want to hear it, and your gums are bleeding, and you're weeping and gnashing of teeth, maybe floss. Is because when we don't do the things that we're supposed to do, when we don't floss, or we don't stretch, or we don't read God's Word, we begin to reap the consequences of it. And that is precisely what this proverb does, is Proverbs really get to the heart of, my desire is to be lazy, my desire is to be one that's slothful, my desire is the one that just take the back seat and let's just see what happens. But we are to be proactive. God has given us time, God has given us talents, God has given us treasures in order to do the things that are before us, to teach children to read, to figure out our budget, to make sure we don't get crinks in our neck. And so this is a good and encouraging proverb to know that if we do the things that we're supposed to, if we do the things that care for ourselves and care for those who are around us, if we put the time in now, the way becomes much, much easier as we go. And so my encouragement to you is maybe stretch tonight. Maybe talk about in meal plans so you're not getting McDonald's every day. Maybe be in God's Word, just a verse a day, and see how it does indeed transform your life. All right, some announcements. It is the beginning of October, so it is wild as we enter into fall, and then that means Christmas is right around the corner, and then that means Easter is right around the corner of that. But especially present this weekend is Applefest. Please join us in Huron Charter Township and New Boston for Applefest. It's a great time. There are vendors, there are apples. There's a parade on Saturday, October 5th. And if you'd like to march with St. John's, we're meeting at the Metro Park at 11 a.m. And as Pastor Jones said in church on Sunday, if you want that opportunity to just chuck candy at people, by all means do it. It's a great time as we yell up and down the road, we believe, we love, we teach. And I think 25 families have already signed up to be a part of this. And so more the merrier. We look forward to seeing you at Applefest this weekend. Our Casserole Luncheon is quickly coming up. Tickets are now on sale for this, and it is important to note that tickets go quickly for this, and we're limiting it to 150 because we have run out of food in the past, and we've had run into spacing issues in the past. And so if you'd like to be a part of our Casserole Luncheon on 10/10, the tickets are on sale now. Please get your ticket in advance. Don't expect to get them at the door. Following this, there's a big event at the end of the month here at St. John's, our Teach Us to Pray Circuit Convocation, where all of the local Lutheran churches gather together to learn about something, to gather together, bump elbows, and fellowship with one another, to remember that we are not alone in this journey through the faith. And so that is October 26th from about 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. It's going to be a great event. We're bringing in Dr. Charles Schultz from Concordia University, Chicago, to talk about how prayer looked in the early church with the church fathers and what their recommendations for prayer are, and that includes other pastors as well. We got Hazel Coffee coming in, which, spoiler alert, is amazing coffee. It's some of the best I've ever had. And so they'll be here serving coffee for us. Hollywood Snack Shack is providing all of our meals for this, and it is free. I would encourage you to sign up for this too, because we do not want to run out of sandwiches. We definitely don't want to run out of coffee. So if you were able to attend our Teach Us to Pray convocation on 10/26, please, there's a QR code floating around on all the posters and every, I think, Lutheran church in our area regarding this event. And so just let us know so that way we can provide enough drinks, beverages, which are drinks, meals, and coffee for you guys. So that is coming up. The following day, there's two things going on. The first is the Holy Land Collective from Christmas Lutheran Church in Bethlehem, Israel, will be here talking about their ministry a little bit and giving the congregation opportunities to support them through the purchase of olive wood gifts. And so if you would like a relic from the Holy Land, if you're looking for a new cross for the house or a nativity set or something that is heirloom quality that can be passed down from generations to generations while supporting Christians who are being persecuted in Israel right now, on October 27th, Holy Land representatives will be here from Christmas Lutheran Church to give you the opportunity to purchase these things and support them. Due to tax stuff, you can't directly support them. You have to buy a cross, which is why they're bringing a bunch of stuff here. But they'll be here on October 27th, and then that evening from 6 till 8 p.m. is our Reformation Festival. So there will be bonfires and bounce houses and apples and ciders and donuts and trunk-or-treating, oh my, as our parking lot is filled up with children and filled up with families and filled up getting ready for that sugar high for this Reformation Festival and harvest season. So if you'd like to hand out candy and be a part of the trunk or treat, the parking lot will be open from 5 o'clock. You can get there and get in, get your spot, and get everything set up and decorated. And then from 6 till 8, all the festivities begin on that day. Other announcements going through here. For the school specifically, it's important to know your October lunch menu did come out, and this is a friendly reminder, friendly assertion or mandate that if you are purchasing at hot lunch for your student, you have to submit the order the Friday before that week. We've had quite a few last-minute emergency lunches, and when there's one or two, it's not bad. When there is a dozen, that gets a little tricky on our lunch moms who are there to support and feed your children, but we can do this best when we know in advance how many people we're feeding. So just please get in your lunch orders by Friday at 3 p.m. so we can shop and get everything appropriately for that. We're still looking for Life Skills members. There is a Google sign-up sheet for that, and you can just fill in a slot. We've had Pastor Jones covered in oil in the parking lot, which was very comical to watch from my window. Wanted nothing to do with that. But anything from how to write a letter, how to write a thank you note, to changing your oil or checking spark plugs, anything that you feel specifically that kids don't know anymore and don't learn anymore, and they should continue to learn and know that. Feel free to sign up and bring your skills and your gifts to the people of St. John's. And finally, we are a church, and we do worship here. And so we would encourage you, if you'd like to attend or just see what we're about outside of the school or get exposed to the teaching that your kids are exposed to every day. Wednesdays at 6:30, we're going through the Minor Prophets. We're in Amos chapter 5 this week. I know this because I'm preaching on this tonight, which is the first good news in Amos, honestly. So spoiler alert if you're watching this before you come to church. And then Sundays at 8 and 11. We'd be blessed to have you, and you are always welcome to join in here at St. John's. Our Wildcat of the Week, and I had to vet this one, just want to let you know this, is Severin Gurney. Two teachers specifically told Mrs. Gurney, our principal, that Severin was a rock star. And at first she didn't believe them, but he has proven himself to be somebody that is very encouraging in chapel, helping the younger students around him find their place in the hymnal and find their place in the song. And he's also been very kind and uplifting and encouraging to his friends, which is an absolute blessing. So Severin, if you are hearing this, good luck trying to get your mom to give you a treat. Just want to let you know that. She still thinks you might have paid off those teachers, but clearly joking. But Severin, thank you very much for being our Wildcat of the Week and a great Christian example. My last closing thought I want to give you with, and I read an article this morning in The Atlantic about no one knows how to make it through an entire novel. And so if you're someone who wants to have the conversation with your family and are piled on and you're all on board, ready to just be able to engage, but then you get to the dining room table and you're like, oh, what do I do now? The easiest way to do this is pick a book and read it through as a family, and then you have your launching point. Kind of going off a few weeks ago as you talk about what was an act of bravery that was in this chapter or in this section or in this book, depending on the length. What made you feel compassion? What made you feel pity? What encouraged you? And these are the questions that can begin great conversations that lead in a variety of different places. If you're worried about the content or the level or the things, like just some recommendations for you that have very episodic chapters is C.S. Lewis's The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, if you can make it by jumping like the fourth book in as opposed to starting there, has real short, quick chapters that are very episodic and self-contained. So even if you just do this once a week, a chapter a week, that allows you to not forget or lose the thread of where the story is going. Tolkien's The Hobbit is also very similar in the same vein. Every chapter is kind of its own little narrative within a greater narrative. And you can follow the thread lines. There's themes throughout the entire books, but at the same time, each chapter stands alone. And so you can reflect and have the conversations around the dinner table. So I would encourage you to do this. To prepare your kids for life is to prepare them to read the fine print of everything. It's much better to start and learn on a wonderful novel So that way when you get to the terms and conditions on how not to be evil, you can actually have them parse out and not be duped by whoever, corporations, the government, tax lawyer, whoever. But that is what I have for you this week, so thank you for walking on this journey with me, and we will see you next week. And until then, here at St. John's, we believe, we love, and we teach. Go in peace. Serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.